Um, Datha asked me if I wanted to.
Can I just introduce you? I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
On, can I just do it? Okay.
Sure.
This is Lauren, and she is my level 3 adopted level 1, and I just love her, and she's amazing. She knows her comp plan. She's a numbers girl. She's a CPA, and she's just super, super smart and focused when it comes to the business side of this. And she keeps me in the know and doing the right thing. So I'm super excited to listen, and I know that she's going to give us lots of great info. All right, go, Lauren.
Thank you, Michelle. So yeah, when Datha asked me about doing this about the comp plan, I was really excited because I do love the numbers part. Um, I am an accountant. I do not do taxes. I do audit. So that's a little bit different. I think when people hear that I'm a CPA, they just automatically assume that I do taxes. But anyway, either way, numbers are my thing. And when I decided to join Plexus, I guess in the process of deciding to join Plexus, I read the comp plan before I was even an ambassador. I got on the website and I found it and I thought, well, I'm just going to check this out. And I was honestly really pleasantly surprised. I've never done any other network marketing, but just being an accountant and being a practical person, I just didn't think that they were legit. I didn't think that you could really make money doing that. And so I was really excited when I read the comp plan to see that it was really easy to understand. Um, it takes a little bit of time, and if you're new and you don't understand it yet, don't feel like all is lost. You will get there. Some of it you just kind of learn as you go, but it's not near as complicated as what I've heard from some other people that do MLMs. Also, you don't really have to strategize. And I like that because even though I like numbers, I tend to get stressed out when I have to make decisions about things. And so in some network marketing companies, you may have where only one of your legs counts, maybe only your largest leg, or maybe you have to have two legs that are equally balanced. And that can get complicated, and you would have to decide to strategically place people, and we're not about that. And I really like that as well. I think the comp plan is super generous. And another good thing is there's lots of different ways that you can earn with the comp plan. So you can earn by having a lot of preferred customers. If you really would rather focus on selling the products, you can do that. You can also earn by having a large team. And of course, the best way to do it is to combine both. And so we're going to talk about all of that tonight, but I love the flexibility that the comp plan offers. So the first most important thing that you need to know is how to be commission qualified. So there are certain things that have to happen in order for you to be eligible to earn a paycheck with Plexus. So one of those is that you have to have 100 PV. And if you are super new and you don't know what PV is, it stands for personal volume. So anything that is purchased through your website, and that would be you making a purchase in your back office, or someone that is your customer going to your replicated website and making a purchase. Anything that goes through your website is going to go towards your PV. And one thing to note is that dollars and PV don't always match up. There might be one or two things where I think Slim is one case where the PV matches the price, but in most cases, the PV is going to be a little bit less than the price. So just keep that in mind. And that 100 PV can come from one order. It can come from lots of small orders. And like I said, it can be your order. It can be your customer's order. It doesn't matter where it comes from. You just have to have 100 PV. And then also you have to have a 100 PV backup order turned on. And we won't go a lot into the backup order, but really the purpose of that is to help to make sure that you're commission qualified. So it has to be 100 PV. So I would just set it to whatever you expect to take every month, and just make sure that it's over 100 PV and that it is turned on in order for you to be qualified. One other thing about your backup order is you can set it to conditional or unconditional. And so different people do this different ways. I hear some people say that they like to turn their backup order on to unconditional, and that way, no matter what, it's going to ship. They want their triplex every month. They set it to the day they want it to ship, and it goes, and they don't have to worry about it. I'm kind of opposite. I like to place my order manually in my back office because, especially with all the contests and things going on right now, I like to be able to manage my PV. And so I place the order when I want to in my back office manually, and then my backup order never ships because I already have the 100 PV by the end of the month. And one thing I want to point out too is that's going to be automatic. So if I place my order and it's 100 PV, I don't have to then go and turn my backup order off. Don't do that, because that might mess you up and you might get to the end of the month and not realize that it's turned off, and then you don't get a paycheck, and that would be very upsetting. So you definitely don't want to be turning it on and off. If you order, you just know, okay, my backup order is not going to ship. And then if you don't have the 100 PV by the ship date, it will. One thing that's very important to note as well, and this is for your preferred customers and for your own backup order, whatever that ship date is, the order is going to process at at midnight Eastern time the night before. So for us in the Central Time Zone, that'd be 11 p.m. And so, like, if my backup order is the 27th, then I need to make sure it's set exactly like I want it to be by 11 p.m. on the 26th, because that's when it's going to process. So I like to point that out, because I tell my customers too, because sometimes people think, oh, well, if it's the 26th, then I have until the end of the day that day to make changes, and that's not true. It's got to be the night before by midnight Eastern time. So, and then also one important thing is, we always talk about your backup order being on at the end of the month, but if you're signing ambassadors and you're going to get those weekly business building bonuses, which we'll talk about in a second, you need to make sure your backup order is on at the end of each of those cycles. So the cycle runs Sunday through Saturday. And so if you sign somebody during the week and at the end of the cycle, for whatever reason, you have your backup order turned off, you run the risk of not getting paid that bonus for signing your ambassador. So that's just a little bit of background information. So now we're going to go into the 11 ways that we get paid. And the basis that I used to come up with this information is this Learn to Earn guide that came in your Success Kit. So if you signed up since January, you've gotten one of our new Success Kits, and it has some great information. And this is just an awesome little booklet that's in there. So if you signed up before then, I would recommend purchasing one. You can do that, and it's really worth it. It's got product cards in it. It's got a success guide. It's got a bracelet. And then this is something really cool. It's small, and you can keep it with you. And then if you have a potential that you run into that's interested in the business, this is an easy way to kind of flip through and show them, and you don't have to have everything figured out because it is printed here in real simple terms. So number one, the first way that we're going to earn commissions is by retail rewards commissions. And so that's going to be on all of your PV that goes through your website and your back office. So that's your orders and your customers' orders. So you're going to earn 15% of everything that you sell or buy over that first 100 PV. You don't get any commission on your first 100 PV, but past that, you're going to earn 15%. Once you get to 500 PV, then your commission rate changes to 25%, and you're going to earn 25% on everything over that initial 100. So that is a really big game changer. If you get close to that 500 PV, I recommend placing an order. You can run the numbers. I've done it before, and in a situation where I think I was $40 or $50 away, I ran the numbers, and it was worth it for me to go ahead and place an order to get to the 500, because I actually kind of got that item for free. So if you're close to that, and if you see people on your team that are close to that, they may not realize. So let them know that getting that 500 PV mark is going to really increase their commission percentage. One thing to note as well is that welcome packs do not count in your commissionable volume. So if you are new this month and you ordered a welcome pack, just know that when you're calculating your estimated commissions, you need to take that welcome pack out. And then you also need to take out that base 100 PV, and then that is the number that you would calculate your commissions based on. So Then number 2 is preferred customer bonuses. And I think this is my favorite part about this compensation plan. I always recommend to my customers to be preferred because it's better for them and it's also better for us. It's a win-win. So they're going to get a discount and we are going to get what's called a preferred customer bonus. So when you have a preferred customer order, on top of that retail reward commission that we already talked about, you're going to get a preferred customer bonus based on what product they order. So for instance, for the triplex, it's $20. So if you have somebody that's a preferred customer and they order the triplex, the PV on that is $115. And then you're going to get 15% of that, plus you're going to get a $20 preferred customer bonus. So that really adds up. It makes a huge difference when people are preferred customers. Another good thing for them is that after 3 auto ships, they're going to get an additional 10% off. So you probably want to let them know that up front. That's going to be a game changer too for them if they plan to be on the products for a while. Getting that additional 10% off is a big deal. So one thing you do want to make sure you tell them though is that it has to be an auto ship. So if they have a skip, so say they order 3 months and they start getting that 10%, and then 1 month for whatever reason they turn off their auto ship, then they're going to have to start back over, and that extra 10% will go away, and they'll kind of have to earn it again by having 3 more auto ships. So just kind of want to make sure you have the details of that down when you explain it to them so they're not surprised. But I think that is a great benefit for preferred customers. Since it's an auto ship, you may find that some people are a little bit leery. And I get that. I'm that way about a lot of things. I'm always reading the fine print and trying to make sure that I can get out of it before I sign up. But in this case, there really are no strings attached. You want to explain to them, yes, this is an auto ship, but if you're not happy, you can change the product. You can change the ship date. You can even cancel, and there is no penalty. And also, they're going to get that 60-day money-back guarantee, which retail customers get that as well. So I think if you just explain the benefits of it to them and also offer to help them manage. So, set a calendar appointment for yourself so that you know when your preferred customer shipments are coming up, and let them know, hey, your order's going to process in a couple days. Just want to check on you, make sure you're doing well. If you need to change anything, I can help you figure that out. So I find a lot of times if I just really explain the benefits and offer to help them with that, then they're a lot more likely to go for it. And it's better for everybody all the way around. Another good thing about preferred customer is that it's free. I think a lot of times people expect for there to be a fee when they sign up to be a preferred customer, and with Plexus there isn't. So really there's no reason not to purchase as a preferred customer if that's the route that they want to take, if they don't want to be an ambassador. And then also it's worth it just explaining to them what ambassador is, and you may want to kind of discuss with them what types of things they might want to order. And there may be cases if they're just going to order the probiotic every month, then being an ambassador is not going to be something that's good for them, because they're going to pay the $34.95, and it may take them a while to save that much because they're just ordering one product. So, just kind of talk through it and help them decide what's best for them. And one thing I wanted to show you really quick, I'm going to see if I can share my screen. This is a file that I got from Plexus Power Tools, and I think it is super helpful. It's the compensation plan summary chart. And so it's kind of busy. There's a lot of stuff going on, but my favorite part is this right here, right in the middle, and that is the preferred customer bonus list. So whatever product it is that your customer is ordering, you can go to this and find it and know what your preferred customer bonus is going to be for their order. And that's every month. It's not just their first month, it's every month. So that's pretty cool. All right, so number 3 is going to be retail override commissions. And those are the commissions that you're going to earn off of the PV of your level 1 ambassadors. So these are people that you sponsor. They're directly below you, and you're going to earn 5% on their personal volume over that initial 100. So you've got to subtract that 100 out of there, just like you do yours, if you're trying to estimate what that amount is going to be. And I know 5% doesn't sound like a lot, but it can really add up. If you have a few active level ones that are having good volume, that number can add up pretty quick. Number 4 is going to be your business building bonuses. That's what you're going to earn when you personally sponsor a new ambassador. These are paid weekly, and they're actually paid 4 levels up. So not only do you earn, so do 3 of your uplines earn as well when you personally sponsor somebody. So it's a really cool setup. Plexus pays out 50% of the welcome pack cost to ambassadors 4 levels up. And of that 50% goes to the sponsoring ambassador, and then it kind of decreases as it goes up. So for instance, on a $99 welcome pack, you're going to get $25 business building bonus. And then your upline is going to get like $12.50, I think. Yes. And then the one above that, $7.50, and the one above that is $5. And that's in this booklet that I was talking about. Those are some numbers that I kind of have a hard time keeping up with because they have sense. So if you ever want to know exactly what they are, go to number 4 in your Learn to Earn guide. And like I said, those are paid weekly. That's the only thing that we get paid weekly. Everything else is monthly. You really want to make sure that you let your customers know the benefit of having a welcome pack. That is the cheapest way they're ever going to get their products. They're going to get the success guide, which is going to be really, really great if they want to start the business. And I don't really give people an option because I think it's just the best way to buy. It's the best way to get them started good on the products. Now, if they do express that money is a concern and they need more time to purchase a welcome pack, they can go ahead and sign up and pay the $34.95 and start getting customers, start making some money, and then they can go back and purchase a welcome pack, but they will have to call customer service to get it, and they've got to do it within 60 days. So just make sure that you stay on top of that if they do decide to wait a little bit. So those are your business building bonuses, and those can also really add up, but that's a really fun paycheck to get. I kind of forget about it because it's weekly, and so it's nice when those pop up. Let's see. Number 5 is going to be your rank achievement bonuses. So at every rank from silver through senior ruby, you're going to get a rank achievement bonus. So silver is $100, gold is $250, senior gold is $350, ruby is $500, and senior ruby is $750. So those can make a big difference in your monthly paycheck when you hit a new rank. And it is going to be paid out just like the rest of your commission. So if you were to hit silver in August, then you would see that $100 bonus show up on your September paycheck, which would be coming in mid-September. So those are really awesome. And one thing I want to point out is to hit the rank. So we see this happen most as silver. Sometimes it's a little bit of a hard hurdle to get over. So if you sign an ambassador and then maybe you've signed 2 ambassadors, and by the time you sign your 3rd ambassador, you've got one that's not active, then Plexus is not going to really recognize you as achieving the silver rank until you have 3 ambassadors that are qualified all in the same month. So we see that happen sometimes, and it's a little bit heartbreaking because you've tried so hard and you get that person and then you realize, oh man, somebody's turned off their order. So just be aware of that. All of those have to be qualified in order for you to hit the rank. And so also concerning these achievement bonuses, you can get what's called a fast start bonus. And that is if you fast start, so that's your first 30 days. If you hit gold, anywhere from gold to senior ruby within your first 30 days, those achievement bonuses are going to be doubled, which is just crazy. The money will really add up if you can do that. It's definitely something that would be challenging, but we've seen it done plenty of times. So if that's something that you feel like you want to do, go for it. And there's still some intricacies to that part of the comp plan that we don't need to get into on this call. But if you're interested in it and you want to know a little bit more of the details, feel free to message me and I will relay my understanding as good as I can because it kind of involves what they call mock points, which are different than our normal pay points. So it can get a little bit tricky. All right. So number 7, this is probably what's the most complex part for most people. These are your pay points. But when you kind of break it down, it gets a little bit easier. So I'll try to explain it pretty simply. So you're going to get pay points on all of your active ambassadors in your downline that have 100 PV and are in your levels 1 through 7. And the number of points that you get is going to vary based on what level that person falls in. So your levels 1 through 3, the first levels under you, you're going to get 5 points. And then your level 4, you're going to get 4 points. And then it goes down from there. And the number of levels that you're paid on is based on your rank. So if we flip back over really quick to my summary page here, I'll show you kind of a cheat way to see this. So if you look up here at the top, you've got all the ranks listed. And then it tells you over here to the right how many levels that you're paid on. So Silver Ambassador is going to be paid on levels 1 through 5. And then, increases as you go up. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, something to keep in mind is how many personally sponsored qualified ambassadors you have to achieve your paid rank. So if you've achieved the rank of Silver and you've got 3 active ambassadors, you're going to get paid on your levels 1 through 5. However, if something happens and one of those ambassadors becomes inactive, then you're no longer going to get paid on your levels 1 through 5. So that's just something to keep in mind. You've got to keep this many personally sponsored qualified ambassadors to maintain those levels that you're paid on. Now, they're not going to take your rank away. You're always going to have that achieved rank. It's just that in one certain month, you may not have that paid rank if you do not have that number of qualified ambassadors. So that part can get a little bit tricky too. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to message me and I will try to help you as best I can. One other thing to point out about pay points is that if you have new ambassadors in your downline, they have to have 100 PV over their welcome pack in order to count for pay points for you for that month. So for instance, if somebody signed up in August and all they bought was their welcome pack, they're not going to count for points for you this month. They will next month if they place an order of 100 PV, but not this month. However, if they come on the scene, they buy a welcome pack, and they also get a customer who's on the triplex, then they will count for you because they're going to have 100 PV over that welcome pack volume. The value of a pay point is typically around $3, give or take a little bit. According to the compensation plan, mathematically, it cannot fall below $1.80. But I think we typically see closer to $3 on the pay points. See, something that can occur with your pay points is if you have people that are under you that are no longer active, your pay points can be compressed. So for instance, Michelle said that I'm her level 3, but sometimes she gets paid on me as if I'm her level 2 or her level 1 if somebody in between us isn't active. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind if you're kind of looking and wondering why your pay points for a person might have changed from one month to the next. It may be due to compression. One thing that I just want to point out that can be a little bit tricky, at the beginning of the month, everybody is going to start out in their dashboard at that associate rank. So if you have reached the rank of gold and then you go into September and you go, oh my gosh, why does my dashboard show me as an associate? That happens to everybody. It's going to roll back and kind of start you at 0. Once you get your 100 PV, then it's going to move you to ambassador, I think is what it says. And then, as you go and you accumulate your points throughout the month, your rank is going to increase from there. And that's just how it tracks it. It's not really starting you over. It's just kind of how the system keeps up with it. So don't be alarmed. Okay, so number 8 is where we get into the bonus pools. And that is where if you have achieved the rank of Emerald, you will get what's essentially like profit sharing, 3% of the company's profits in a pool. And then also Emerald is where you are eligible for the Plexus Lexus program. And there's a lot more details to that, but essentially there are designated choices that you can choose. The Emeralds are going to have the white Lexus, and there's probably, I think, 4 or 5 choices. And what you do is you would go and lease or buy the Lexus yourself, and then Plexus would send you the check to cover the payment. I think it's $500 at Emerald. So that's how that works. I think that's something that we are all looking forward to, having that free car. So that's a really fun perk of being at the Emerald level. At the Sapphire level, then you get an additional 1%. So you're going to get the Emerald 3%, and then the Sapphire additional 1% bonus pool. And once you reach Diamond, you add another 1%. And then also at the Diamond level, there's a different choice on the Lexus. Those are the black ones. They're a little bit more larger, sportier, whatever, the more expensive cars. And they're going to come with I think a $1,500 a month kind of stipend that you would use to pay for the car once you lease it or buy it yourself. So those are really exciting. The number 11 way that you earn is a Diamond reentry position. You would have to get to the point where you had 6,000 points in your organization, and then Plexus will allow you to re-enter under yourself, which sounds bizarre and impossible, but there is somebody that has done that. Right now, we currently have 1 double diamond, and I have no doubt that in the near future there are going to be more. I know there's double jewels, diamond and emerald, or diamond and sapphire. So I think that that's coming soon. We will have more of those, but that's a really fun way to earn with the compensation plan. So those are our 11 ways. Kind of a couple more things that I think would be helpful for you to know. Concerning ranks, I know we talked about that a little bit. You have to have a certain number of points to rank up. You also have to have a certain number of points in your outside leg. And what your outside leg is just not your primary leg. So you might have one leg on your team that's really growing and makes up the most of your points, but then you have another leg or multiple legs that are not your primary leg, and you've got to have a certain number of points in those two. And really what that boils down to is Plexus doesn't want to allow anybody to kind of ride on somebody else's back. It's not super complicated. It's definitely doable. It's not anything to worry about. It's just something to keep in mind. And I really think it's a good, responsible part of our compensation plan. But here on this summary chart is where you would see that. So this column right here is how many you have to have total. And then this column is how many you need outside of that primary leg. So that's just kind of a side note. One other thing that's really fun about Plexus's comp plan is that you can sign your spouse to be on your team. You have to be a gold ambassador before you can do that. But once you do, you can sign your spouse under you, and then you both get paid when you sign people, which is super awesome. I think that's very generous that we're able to do that. Let's see. Also, just kind of some notes about where you're going to find your commission reports in your back office. If you go to the reports tab, there's going to be a report under there called, I think it's called Commission Summary. And that's where you're going to click. And typically, maybe 5 or 6, give or take a few days into the next month, your commission summary is going to show up. And you can go in there, you can kind of click on it, and you can really drill down and see where your commission is coming from. And then you're actually going to get paid on that on the 15th of the following month. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. One thing I did want to point out, because I am an accountant, is don't forget about taxes. Plexus is going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year. So you just need to make sure that you're prepared. It's nothing to scare you, but if you think about your normal job, they're withholding taxes from you, and Plexus is not. So you just kind of need to make plans. If you have an accountant, ask them about it. Keep good records, because you're going to have expenses if you're really working the business, if you're giving out samples. you can't count your own products against it, but anything that you give away, trips that you take. So I just wanted to say, keep that in mind as you go. And like I said, I don't do taxes, but I can answer simple questions, and I know how to Google. So if you need help with anything, I'm definitely willing to help. And I wanted to take some questions, but it looks like we've only got like 1 minute before the call is going to cut us off. But if you have questions, feel free to message me. Again, my name is Lauren Billings. I'm on Facebook as Lauren Mullenix Billings. So feel free to friend me, ask me anything, and I definitely am here to help. And I will turn it over to Datha the last few seconds. I'm not sure how long we have. Okay, I think you're unmuted now.
Okay. Thanks, Lauren, so very much for doing this. Sorry I was late. My daughter had her first dance class today, and I had to go get her. But that was amazing. Can't wait to get the recording so everyone can learn from this. I'll have it on Blessed by Plexus as soon as possible. So
Awesome.
have a great night, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.